in the orange book, right?
Yeah.
531, 531. Was there any problems with this stuff? This stuff should be kind of easy, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to run into problems. It's just like there's no real big tricks I can think of. Some math sections are tricks that you got to be kind of aware of. Any questions on this?
Nope.
None at all? None at all in the homework? You guys got this?
Absolutely not.
Really? That's nice. Cold wrap.
For number 9, I was sort of confused.
Me too.
Like, so would it be angle 6 or angle 5? Like, that is
49? You mean 49?
yes, 49 degrees.
49 is only adjacent to this one, and this one. Adjacent means it shares a side. So it's not, that's not the one you want to use. You don't want to use adjacent. But what other relationships do you guys see? Alex?
Angle, the one that you said that was 49, adjacent to angle 5.
It's not adjacent to angle 5.
I mean, it's congruent.
No, it is congruent, but why?
Because they're both top left.
What's the word for that though? They're top right, but what's the word for that? Does anyone live on like corresponding? They're corresponding. That's a good word. You use it in real life too. Things that correspond are kind of like in the same position but in a different thing. Like Warren's in that seat. In period 4, the corresponding person in that seat is Ariella Gadd or whatever. You know, and so it corresponds to that seat for him. Just like this corresponds to this spot as far as where the angle is in that cross. Okay, so angle 5 would be 49 because of what? Because they are corresponding. Good. And then can you find 6 from there or not?
Yeah.
How?
Because they're supplementary.
Which are supplementary?
Angle that I said was 49, and the one that connecting to it.
It's angle 5 and angle 6. Exactly. They're supplementary. Why? Because they make a
Straight line.
and they're called a linear pair. Like two angles that make a straight line are called a linear pair.
I didn't understand number 6.
Número 6. Which of the angles are congruent? Cool. Well, hey, I know 8 and 6 are congruent, right? Because they're what? Vertical angles. So we got that. And ooh, I know 2 is congruent to 6. Why?
It's corresponding.
Beautiful. And I know 4 is congruent to 2 because of what? No, alternate interior with 6, but then it's also vertical with 2. You got a lot of different ways to go with this stuff. So it looks like, what is it? 2, 4, 6, and 8 are all congruent. And then,
So it's which ones are like crossing each other?
and then 5 is congruent with 7, which is congruent with 1 and congruent with 3. Those 4 are all congruent.
So like the numbers like opposite of each other?
You got to be able to see this in your head. So these are vertical angles, so those are always congruent. Is that what you mean by opposite?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then to get from here to here, we have to jump using something. So I just said that these two are corresponding, so I know they're congruent. And then I use vertical angles again to figure out this one is like this one.
Okay.
So if this is congruent to this, and this is congruent to this, and this is congruent to that, they're all congruent. When you have these transversals with an angle measure, or with parallel lines with an angle line going through, you're only going to have 2 angle measures. Basically, there's angle and then there's a supplement to it. So basically, once you decide one angle, you can figure out all the other 8. Would it be the same if I had 2 angles that weren't parallel, or 2 lines that weren't parallel, and I started doing this stuff? What if I said this was 50? What else could I find? If these angles are not parallel.
Oh, you can find out the one that's vertical to it.
Which is what, right here?
Yeah.
Cool. What else? Milo?
You can find out the one that's on the other side that's 130 degrees.
Good, you could say adjacent to it.
Supplementary.
Adjacent, or yeah, make a linear pair with it, yeah. And then this one would be
130.
because of what? Cool. Cool, I can find those 4, but if these lines aren't parallel, I can't jump to here. I know nothing about that. It's like a different math.
Do you not know like the bottom, like up?
We do not know any of these if the lines aren't parallel. So what I'm trying to show you is, every time you see this on the thing, they're going to give you parallel lines. But just the only reason all this stuff is true is because the lines are parallel. If this line is slightly not parallel to this, or it's not marked with those like little lines, it's like you can't assume that that all these things are going to be true for these two. This would not necessarily be 130, 50, 51.
How did you know that one 130?
I just said this was 50 and then work from there, but remember, because it makes a straight line. Once you find one, you can find all four of them. Alan?
Are consecutive interior angles congruent?
No, consecutive interior angles are supplementary. It's pretty easy to see, like, so check it out. Here's my two lines, parallel, parallel. Consecutive interior means they're both inside the river, but they're on the same side of it. I could just look at these and be like, those aren't congruent. This is a big old obtuse angle. This is an acute angle. So I'm pretty sure they're not congruent. It turns out they're not congruent, but they are supplementary. Exactly. Pretty much if it's not congruent with another angle in that thing, it's supplementary. The lines are parallel. But yeah, consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Anything else on this? Oh, see, this is the one, this is what I was just trying to show you, Brandon. Like 5, we don't know, because the lines aren't parallel. Only if the lines are parallel does all this magic work. Okay, any questions, any other questions on the homework? What were we working on yesterday? We were doing this worksheet?
No, we didn't start there. We didn't have any worksheets.
So we were talking about transversals and did we start this worksheet at all?
No.
Okay, let's look at a couple on this. Huh?
How do you do number 16 and 17?
One more homework, or a couple more homework questions?
Yeah.
What do we got? 16 and 17?
Yeah.
Oh, these lines are parallel, right?
Yeah.
Which means I'm going to be able to find out a lot of stuff really easy. All I need is one angle and I can find out all 8. What's that one angle? 99? So what would this one be? Why? Good. What would this one be? 81 because they are, because they're a what? Because they're a what? Linear pair, thank you. This is also 81 because vertical angles. Now, since these are parallel, we can basically take this whole thing and just smack it right down here. Everything's going to be exactly the same. That's 99 because it's corresponding with that one. This is 81 because it's corresponding with that one. This is 99 because it corresponds with that one. And this is 81 because it corresponds with that one. So, Caprice, if you have parallel this and they give you one angle, you can find all 8 just by doing that. Basically, you just have to think, is it congruent to the angle I have or is it supplementary to the angle I have? That's it. 17 would be the same way. 17 is actually a really cool situation.
They're all 90.
They're all 90. Yeah, basically every angle is the same. Eraser. Is this like a fake eraser? Whoa.
That was your desk.
Oh my god, this is that old piece of foam that I had.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You keep stuff around, sometimes you find interesting uses for it. Alright guys, let's look at this worksheet for today. If you want to start on this and kind of fly through it, you're more than welcome to do so, but I'm happy to help, especially with some of the tougher ones, just until you guys get the tricks here. One some people already asked me about, that would be pretty easy, yeah.
Can you help me with number 7 and 8?
Let's go through, I mean, number 1, so these angles are what? Corresponding. I love corresponding. It's just like, I don't know. Corresponding is like, I always think about it as like, does anyone live on the corner of their street? You do? What, like, what street? Lomitas and Maple. So like, Lomitas and Palm, if someone lived, what corner do you live on? Like the north, south, east, or west?
On Sunset.
So north,
So it's like right off of Sunset.
northwest corner or northeast corner? Whatever, so if you go to Lomitas and Palm, the person in the northeast corner would be they would have the corresponding house to yours, but on Palm. And does that make sense?
Yeah.
Since you're in that corner, anything in that same corner as you keep moving streets would be corresponding. Alex?
Will you, on the back, will you say which ones are congruent and which ones are 180?
Will I or which?
Will you go over which ones?
Sure.
I keep getting mixed up with that.
Sure, it's pretty easy. Just if you're not sure, just draw it and kind of see, do the angles look congruent or do they look supplementary? I mean, it's pretty easy. Transversal is just a line, so that has nothing to do with it. Corresponding angles are congruent. Let me get a better. So corresponding angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. Supplementary angles by definition are supplementary. Vertical angles are congruent. Consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Does that answer your question, Alex?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good. I didn't know Alex from last year because she wasn't in this class. Just seeing like the way she looks at class and treats it, like she's getting a lot from this class. She's asking good questions. She's getting questions answered. She's somebody who's gonna probably do well in this class and probably do well with the stuff she learns in this class later on. Ahoy. Yeah.
What are vertical angles? That's corresponding.
Vertical angles or corresponding angles?
Yeah. Thank you.
They're two different things. Wait, you're asking what vertical angles are?
Yeah. No. Like, are they supplementary?
Vertical angles?
No, right there. The one oh wait, never mind. I was looking at the one.
I like to use it.
Vertical angles are congruent. This and this are the same always. Just think about it when one gets
Alternate exterior angles. Those are congruent.
congruent. Yeah, I marked the congruent.
Oh, it's gonna be an A.
Yeah, that's why I tried to.
Vertical.
Yeah, it's vertical angle. Where does it? I want you guys to look at these, like, and just you don't have to do them. But where does the first one you see that you're like, whoa, I'm not sure how to do this one.
You don't know how to do that.
Or I don't know what the deal is, like what angles they want me to know. Or seven's where it gets crazy.
8? No, 8 you can 8 is good, 7 is confusing.
Let's look at 7.
It's an alternate.
What the heck are those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are alternate interior.
Yeah, you can tell.
Because all I do is if I hide this line right here, how can I do that without? Oh, maybe I can use like a whiteout pen. Anyway, this line has nothing to do with our situation. The only lines we're looking at are this one and this one, which I think they told us were parallel. I don't know if they did either.
No.
No.
Okay, so we don't know if they're congruent or not. Whether or not the lines are parallel, they're still called alternate interior, but they're just not congruent to each other. But yeah, this one and this one, because they're on alternate sides of the transversal line. So basically all we're looking at for this one, they're trying to trick us with all these extra lines, but really all we're looking at is this. This is X, this is Y.
Is it not congruent?
Huh?
They are congruent?
They are congruent because they're alternate interior angles. So when you're looking at these three lines, so this is parallel to this. So I'm looking at this green line, and this red line. Yeah, they're alternate interior to each other.
If it's not parallel? Or only-
If the lines aren't parallel, then they're not congruent. But they look parallel, so I'd say they're congruent, but it doesn't expressly tell you they're parallel, so you can't
Well,
assume that.
the thing is called parallel lines and transversals.
Right, I mean, so, but they're not asking you in the question whether they're congruent or not, they're just saying what's their relationship. So all you would have to put is alternate interior angles. Number 8 actually is probably a good one. What the heck are those?
Oh, we never needed to put in the name.
Who said alternate exterior? That's actually good. So I'm going to draw, all I need from this one are these 3 lines. I'm going to redraw them up here. Like that. So now I have Y and now I have X here. Does that make it easier to see? You can always use, like, I don't know, use your whiteout pen or something if there's something that is confusing you, like try to white it out. You have the technology to do some cool stuff. When I had whiteout, like it was like a stupid paint.
The pen, right?
No, I had paint. It was like you had to take it out and
Oh, I hate those.
It
I
was
still
like,
think
it was
they're
like,
really annoying. I like the pens.
okay.
How would it be alternate exterior if that like last line on the bottom would make like X?
The last line has nothing to do with the relationship between X and Y. It's almost like it doesn't exist. These are alternate exterior as far as these 2 parallel lines are concerned. This line doesn't have any angles that we're concerned about, so it's pretty much out of the picture. Alex?
So because that line doesn't touch the Y or the X angles, you can just take it out?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We could actually ditch this line too, this line and this one, because they're not related to either of those angles in any way. So yeah, they could put 1,000 angles or whatever, but you got to find out kind of which ones you are looking for.
How do you
Casey?
know, like, how do you know if it's alternate interior? Because there's like another line that goes through the.
So what she's saying is kind of interesting. I would say wipe this whole line out of your thing. Like don't.
That's throw you off.
Exactly, it's just there to throw you off.
Oh, so you need to know what angles that are there.
You don't need to know any angles, I think, for this first page. It's just kind of tell me what the relationship between the angles is. So are they corresponding? Are they alternate interior, alternate exterior?
I'm confused what number 3 is.
Let me check that real quick.
So they're
Number 3. Number 3 would be corresponding. Yeah, number 8 is alternate exterior.
Because one's in the inside, one's in the outside.
3 would be corresponding, but see how this is in the bottom right of the top 4, of these 4? And this is in the bottom right of those 4? This is Casey's house. Right? On Lomitas, so this is Lomitas and Maple. Cool, and this is Palm. Do you know who lives here by any chance?
Oh, that my aunt lives there.
Really?
Oh, not in Florida. She lives from Palm.
Okay, huh? So this is the corresponding house to Casey's. It's not the same place, but it's the same place as far as the intersections are concerned. So it's like
So, number 7 is alternate interior.
7 is
You went over it, I'm trying to
7 is alternate interior, correct? It's a little tricky, but yeah.
Wait.
Wait, and what were you called 4 again? Supplementary?
4 are supplementary because they're consecutive interior. See how they're both inside the river? And then they're on the same side of the transversal line, so they can't be alternate because they're on the same side of it. So we call them consecutive. They're kind of next to each other.
Will you call answers in this page, please?
First page, yes. I'm going to say them, I won't write them. These are corresponding angles.
Wait, what's number 2?
Alternate exterior is number 2.
Consecutive interior.
Well, number 3.
Number 4 is consecutive interior.
Number 4 is consecutive interior, good.
Alternate interior, alternate exterior,
Alternate exterior.
alternate interior, and alternate exterior.
Okay, cool.
What's number 3?
Number.
Corresponding.
I'm confused on number 10.
Okay, let's start digging at some of these. This is good, actually.
Wait,
Let's-
number 10 is like a line segment.
It's just corresponding.
Have you guys ever? I'm just curious, but have you guys ever like been doing something else in class, or you're just busy or out of it, and then like you didn't understand how to do your homework?
Yes.
Kind of annoying, right? So it's like the more you understand this now, the better your life's going to be later tonight.
I thought we were supposed to find each of these angles in one of those things.
It doesn't say what they're. It doesn't say
Because
find
for
their
number
measures.
1, there's a pair of corresponding, a pair of outfit interior.
There always is going to be, but just
Please choose one.
just the ones that they give you. So if they're just giving you X and Y,
Oh my god.
so they're just giving you X and Y, so they're just saying look at those 2 angles.
I get it now.
Number 9, what do those look like?
Consecutive interior.
Yeah, does anyone else see that?
Oh yeah.
They're trying to trick us with this like.
Isn't it corresponding? Alternate interior.
What if I redraw it like this?
No, it's corresponding.
Consecutive interior.
No.
Oh, sorry. 10. Whoa. Selena says 10 is corresponding. Does anyone disagree?
Wait.
Don't just believe her on reputation.
I do. I disagree.
When?
I disagree.
I'm not.
I disagree.
Ashley, what's your take? For number 10?
Yes. I disagree that it's not corresponding. I believe that it is all no. It's not corresponding.
It is.
Because it's all the same. No, because they're both on the same side of one line.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. What is it? It's corresponding. It shouldn't matter where it is. Alternate. Where do you think it was, Ashley? What do you think it was?
Ashley, that's great. Dude, that's the whole point. It's like let's get a debate going. I love that you stood up there in the face of somebody else who was pretty confident. But does it make sense now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wait,
No.
so
Respect to you for actually that's coin worthy actually to step up like that and just kind of because that helps actually everybody learn more because then they're like wait he's right.
everyone's been rewarded?
In this one? No, these are corresponding. Correct. Correct. Notice these, Alex. Look, these both X and Y are both big of 2 angles. There's no way they're gonna add up to 180.
No assuming there's an not parallel.
Huh?
Should I find both of these?
Wait, you're on like the third page?
Yeah.
Let me make sure everybody's kind of where they need to be. I'm happy to help you, but I just want to make sure no one's kind of lost. Anyone on 11? You guys got 11. Now you guys are actually finding measures
I have a question.
of angles.
For number 9, is it a consecutive interior angle?
They are consecutive interior angles because they're both inside the stream and they're on the same side. You could also call them same. They're called consecutive interior, or you can say same side interior.
How about alternate?
You can't say alternate because they're on the same side of the transversal line.
Is there exterior?
There is exterior, but not in this one. Exterior would be anything outside the water. So anything here or here is exterior, but interior is inside our little thing. I kind of want to do like a little animation for that.
Number 5, right?
We're on the second page now. Right.
I thought she asked you about number 5.
Who did?
Please.
What?
She asked about 9.
Yes,
Why
you
do
did
I
not
always
ask about
consider
number
9 as 5?
All these should be pretty easy. 11 through 15, I'm thinking, right? 11 through 16. Take 5 minutes. See. I want to see who has all these correct. Who can get all these correct? I'm gonna set it for about 5 minutes.
Can we look at the back for help?
Huh? What's on the back? Yeah, you can.
Here you go.
Oh, are we doing it?
You're doing 11 through 18.
Okay, I went first.
Okay, these people are already done.
Well, see if they're
No, I did this beforehand.
Isn't it amazing how much Amy can do when he's not talking?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Kind of thing.
I didn't do it so fast. I can do it.
25, 47.
No, it's not 96. What are you saying?
You're good.
Is there anyone?
Excuse me.
I don't see anyone. He was the first one, so that's good. So we just,
Ashley!
let's keep it. Aiden, sit down. Guys, sit down. Aiden was the first one with it. That's good.
That's not fair.
Mom's telling guys.
I haven't brought Starbucks, so I went to the store. They didn't have Takis or hot Cheetos. At like 12 midnight, I went to the store. Like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get stuff for tomorrow, and then they were sold out. Alex. 11 through 18.
Yes.
So I got 110.
Right, 110 because why?
Because it's vertical to
You could do it like that, but you can do it in one step, just with alternate exterior. Because these are alternate on alternate sides of the transversal, and they're exterior of the parallel line. Michael, sit down, please. Michael. What about number 12? Kate, let's try that one. Really?
Yeah.
84.
This is
I
84.
got 84.
Kate, these are alternate interior angles. So if I have two parallel lines across like this one and this one are always going to be congruent.
So it's like vertical.
Not vertical. It's just like this. If we know the top left or bottom left here, we know that the top right one over here is going to be the exact same. Always. So this is 84 also because of what?
Because they are the same.
Because but what's the relationship that tells us that they're going to be the same? They are alternate interior.
A lot of these are alternate interior.
Alternate interior is kind of like the favorite one that they use. What about this one? What do you think? What do you think we got there?
I think
Yeah.
80.
80. Why?
They're consecutive.
Consecutive what?
Well, interior.
Consecutive interior. Good. And consecutive interior angles are supplementary.
Are consecutive exterior also equal 180?
There's no really such thing as consecutive exterior because there's going to be like, if we have this one and this one, they're not consecutive really because there's angles in between them. We would call them same side exterior angles,
So then,
and they are supplementary. They would be supplementary.
Wait, aren't they consecutive? Because
Consecutive means like one and then the next one when you move. Like if we were going here to here, we'd have to cross all these other angles. They're not considered consecutive. Consecutive is like kind of like there's no angles in between. consecutive interior angles are not congruent. Consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Here's an easy way to see it, Warren. I'm going to draw like a really crazy angle like this. Or not that crazy, but here are consecutive interior angles. Do those look congruent or supplementary? Exactly. This is a small acute angle. This is a really big obtuse angle. So that's just another like way to use your eyes to see. 14. What do you got?
For 14, I got thing. Alternate interior.
Good. So what's the measure?
Oh, it's 111.
Yeah. Alternate interior angles are congruent.
Yeah. And then, yeah. And also, okay, he's ready.
Yeah. Okay. What about 15?
Okay, so I got alternating interior, so
Yeah.
it would still be
Alternating. You don't have to say
125.
alternating. You can just say alternate interior.
Okay, alternate interior, and I got 125.
Those are congruent. Perfect. So that's 125. What about 16? Manabi?
They're alternate exterior, so that'd be 47.
Alternate exterior, so they're congruent. The man who tried to break the bank of math score bank with this. Somebody does have counterfeits, or that they bought online.
Really?
Yeah, I think I know who it is, but like I've been keeping an eye on it. It's so messed up, man. No, he's earned a lot. He's earned a lot, but it just bums me out. It's like, dude,
You're
really,
here once every 2 months.
you're like stealing from me.
You
Like,
bought
you're
basketball?
just stealing, huh?
Yeah.
I have
Oh
what's
my
that?
god, they're doing money laundering.
No, that didn't mean- What is money laundering? Do you know what that means? What does that mean, money laundering? Like you put
Money
it in a
laundering
wash?
is like you make your own money.
No,
No, that's counterfeit.
that's counterfeit.
Are you sure?
Money can be traced fairly easily from when you see what bank it went to, or from. It's easy to see that if you get the information you need. Money laundering is the attempt, which is absolutely illegal, to kind of clean the money so people don't know where it came from, basically. Because if it can't be traced, it's very hard to. It's like you clean kind of the tracing. I don't recommend any of you ever do anything like that. I always thought it meant like you wash the money in a machine, but no.
I know, it's such a good joke.
Can you do number 23? Number 23.
These are corresponding issues. See how this 53 is an acute angle? Is this acute or obtuse? This angle, is this an acute angle or an obtuse angle? Remember, obtuse is like big like this. That's obtuse. Hold on one second. This is acute. So, is this one acute or obtuse? Good. What about this one? Yeah, there's no way two acute angles can add up to 180. So I'm just using like my kind of like spider sense and saying there's no way it could be supplementing. They have to be congruent. And Selena's right, they're corresponding. Cool. What about E18? Ms. Shabani?
Okay, so for number 18, they're corresponding.
Whoa!
No, but also the 113 degree is corresponding to. No, it's not.
You can use corresponding to get your answer, but these are definitely alternate interior. They're inside the river and they're on alternate sides of the
The
river.
113 degrees, the top is also on the
Which one? This one? Yeah, you could say they're corresponding and then vertical. But we like to do some in one step. Like we like to be like, what's the word? What would be a word? Like if you kind of do it like the smooth way or like the
Easy.
Faster.
there's no cooler way to say it like that. I'm talking about like if you did it like in not math, like in the real world. Like
In one like move.
yeah, what would someone say if you did something once?
Reality, realistic.
What would they say?
Realistic. What?
What?
I'm talking like slang. I mean like slang. Or like what would someone say in slang?
My coach always says
Oh,
to
that's,
me, I don't know
that's
what
what?
it
Easy.
Easy cheesy. Okay, that works. I'm ready for these to get harder. I don't know about you guys, but this is kind of this has been kind of easy from here on.
Can an angle be negative? I mean, can
Angle-
x be negative in this?
X can be negative, but when you plug it in, you can and you work it out, the angle is going to have to be positive.
Yeah. No.
So you could technically have a negative X, but it's probably going to mean you have a negative angle, which you cannot have.
No, X could be negative.
X can be negative, but the angle itself, when you plug it in, cannot be
Yeah, I
negative.
know. For 22, X is negative.
Where's 22?
Aiden's on his way to, Aiden's killing it, man.
I'm on 25. I
Do
can't.
20.
But how do you do number 28? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, can I do
Doesn't make
it?
sense?
Can I demonstrate?
Wait, what number?
You want to?
28.
Ooh, let's try 28. This is awesome.
Can I do it?
Because X is like no solution.
If you can explain this to the point that Selena understands it, I'll give you a point. But no, you don't have to. You can do it from there.
Okay. So the two angles have to equal 180
Why do they have to equal 180?
because it's a line and a line equals 180.
No, these aren't a line. These aren't in a line.
No, that line has to equal 180. So the two have to equal 180.
But why do they do? But why? What's their relationship to each other?
They're congruent.
Oh, I know. I don't need to explain.
They're opposites.
You cannot make
I got it.
So because okay, so
They're
so X-
consecutively
So
interior.
yeah, I know how to do the rest.
you know,
Okay, so that means X added to both of them has when they're both added up, they equal 180. So right now, if you added 109 plus 89, that's more.
So I'm going to do x plus 109
Yeah.
plus x plus 89 equals
It already, it has to be
equals 180.
So you could just do what I did is, okay, 100 plus 80 equals 180. So get rid of both 9, but to get rid of both 9,
X is
has to
negative
equal
9.
negative 9, so X is negative 9.
What?
X is negative angle.
What about minus 9?
He's right. He's right.
Yeah.
He did it in a really weird way, but he's right. Well, if I was just doing algebra from here, what would I do on both sides?
Get rid of 109. Yeah.
You're gonna need that.
Divided by 2, negative 9. Thank you, Miles Caller.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miles Collar, to the rescue again. X can equal negative 9, because check it out, when we plug it in, the angles are still positive. So negative 9 plus 109 is 100, and negative 9 plus 89 is 80. So we're kosher, we can do, that's fine.
We're kosher.
We're kosher.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everything's okay.
I'm not kosher.
Can I buy a Starburst?
You can after class, but not during class. You guys are in good shape if you can get through
32 minutes.
homework classwork is this packet, guys. So if you finish this packet by the end of class, you have no homework. Make sure you have to, and he said this expressly, that you should not just give the answers, but explain the relationships between the angles.
So can I just explain it saying like it's corresponding? or
Yes, that's what we're looking for.
We don't need like this.
Any other questions on that for now? I can come over and help people one by one, but is there any major questions that you
Number
want?
28, it says find the answers in bold. So what do we do after we got the negative 9?
So they say find the measure of the angle, so then you would plug negative 9 in for x,
Okay.
and then see what the angles end up equaling. One sec, Alex.